Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mel from the Patchy Pony Stitcher in Tasmania, Australia. It's Wednesday the 22nd of June today and it's very cold here in Tassie. Woke up this morning, took the boys to school at -2 degrees Celsius. So for you guys in the US, that's like 28 degrees Fahrenheit. So a wee bit chilly. I am on my video number 2, so Flosstube number 2, and I am flabbergasted with the response from my first video. It was a bit nerve-wracking putting that up for the world to see, but all the support, comments, likes and subscribers, I'm blown away. So thank you everyone that watched my first video, that subscribed, that commented. The support is amazing and it makes my day waking up in the morning and seeing those comments, and I do try to reply to all of them. If I haven't, I do apologise. I will get round to having a look at them all for you and answering back. So once again, thank you. It makes it all worthwhile when you get the few likes and the comments and especially the subscribers. I have a big thank you to Donna Ray and also Victoria from Creative Crafts for shouting me out on their own channel. So hearing your name called out on somebody else's channel is yeah, it's very warm and fuzzy feeling. So thanks guys, I really appreciate it. Now my teenage boys discovered my channel purely not for, I wasn't intending them to find it. However, teenage boys, they found it all right. And they gave me some feedback. They told me my editing skills need to be a little better. So I'm gonna try and be a little bit more not as much editing. If there's a mistake in the video, there's a mistake in the video, and I'm just going to keep going with it because editing took so much time and I'm new to this, and then I ended up missing bits out that I wanted to remove. So let's just say it is going to be what it is. I have an FO. I'm sorry, I've worked really hard on this, you guys. I showed you this in my first video. It's my full coverage piece that I've been working on since February. So I'll insert a photo here of where it was at my last video, which was really only about 10 days ago. So I'll pop a video in here. Okay, and this is my FO absolutely finished, completed. So I've washed it and ironed it. So this is Horses at Sunset by Anne Logan. So this was my first piece that I did as returning to cross stitch. Now, there's a few flaws in it. I must say I'm not 100%, like I'm pleased it's done and I love it, but I'm not 100% wrapped with it. It's done on 14 count white Aida, so you can see the white coming through on the stitching, but as I said last video, I was determined to finish it. So it is going to go off to the framers, but I think I'm going to make some adjustments. I think there was an error in the pattern. It was a free downloadable pattern, so hence you get what you pay for, I guess. So the bit that I think needs a little bit of fixing is this cream area. To me, that should be a chestnutty colour to continue with a continuation of the horse's leg. So I look at that part and it stands out and I'm just like, I'm not 100% happy with it. So that will be worked on, and I'll show you the progress. I'll re-show you the change. I've either got two choices. I'm either going to unpick it, but then that obviously loosens the threads from where it's stitched from, or alternatively I actually thought, do I just stitch over the top of it? I've never had to fix an error like this, so any feedback, if anyone's stitched over another colour, I'd love to hear what, did it work, was it terrible, did you have to unpick it, because it has to be fixed. I'm not happy with it, so it's not going behind glass like it is. And I've also got to put my initials on it, but I've never done a full coverage, so it's going to be mounted, the mount board's going to be right up to the edge of it. Normally I would put my initials in the white vacant space and away I'd go. So I'm a little bit perplexed. Do I just leave it, or do you put your initials over the top of the actual, over the colouring. So normally I would do it in the bottom left, but it's quite dark. Yeah, I don't know. So any feedback, comments, advice, that would be really appreciated. So even when this one's done, I'm not going to send it straight off to the framers because I've actually got a companion piece for it, a different designer. But I like to decorate in more than just one, so I want to put it on the wall, but being that it's not huge, but it's not tiny, but I feel like it needs a second piece to go along with it. So I found a companion piece that I'm going to do to go with it. So this is called Prairie Romance by Christy Melanie. So this will be the second piece that I do to go alongside Horses at Sunset, and it's relatively close in size and shape, and also the colourings are very similar, so they'll make a nice coupled piece. But I won't send Horses at Sunset off to the framers until Prairie Romance is done, because I'd want the timber to be the same, I'd want the mount boards to be the same, so they do look like a companion piece. Not really keen to go straight into another full coverage, but I don't want Horses at Sunset sitting around unframed for ages too. So that one took me exactly, I started in February and finished in June. So that one took me 4 months to complete. But mind you, I was working on that one all the time. I didn't have any other whips, whereas now, oopsies, I got a few more. So the Prairie Romance might take me a bit longer than what the Horses at Sunset did. I'd like to get them up before Christmas. It's just nice to have new things displayed on the wall, so we will work on that. So my other whips. So this week I've really been working on Horses at Sunset. I haven't done anything on my Queen Bee. Quite a few people commented on my Queen Bee, even though I just had a bee bottom there. And yeah, as I said, my boys made comments about my videoing, so I realise I need to put something behind things so you can actually see them rather than seeing the transparency. So I haven't done anything on the bee because I've been busy with the horses, but I have started a sale, my first sale, which I was really excited about, jumping on board and stitching with other people. So I joined in the Caterpillar cross stitch sale called Adventure Awaits, and it's a mystery sale. So you do get pieces, you get a separate part of the puzzle essentially every month for 6 months, and it's a trip around the world. So this is where I have begun. As you can see, sorry guys. So far I've done the aeroplane, the windmill of the Netherlands, the red square of Moscow, and I'm starting on the Leaning Tower of Pisa. So each country is represented by an iconic landmark. So I'm looking forward to see what Australia's got represented on there. I'm hoping San Francisco's got the bridge, because when we went to San Fran, I loved San Fran, so I really want to see San Fran on my map, on my wall. I recently had an American trip to, I recently had a family trip to the United States, and we took the family to San Francisco, Vegas, Disney, and Los Angeles. So this is going to go on my wall of souvenirs. I'm going to insert a photo here of what my American souvenir was from our trip. I like to have photos on the wall from trips, but I also like to have something a little bit more souvenir-y, I guess, but also hand created. So I'm going to insert what we did here. So what we did with the kids is everywhere we went, we collected the little pennies out of the pressed pennies out of the machines, and I wanted to display them when we got home, and good old Pinterest, and I found this idea, so we recreated our own, and it's really like a bit of a talking point. It draws the eye, and people always go up for a closer look to look at all the pressed pennies. So my Round the World Adventure Awaits will go up there with my souvenirs from our travels. So looking forward to the next one. I've still got a few more motifs to do for this month, so there's probably I'll be showing this whip regularly because I want to keep up to where everybody else is. I have changed a few of the colours, being that it's sort of a motif style. I didn't want to go out and buy specific colours when I had something similar in my stash. So, and I guess other people will do the same. So everyone's is going to be a little bit different, which is really quite nice to see the difference, different fabrics, different colours, and little alterations. So that's my sale for the week. I've only got the one, and it's my whip. I've only got the one that I've worked on this week to show you. Now the next thing, I bought my first Q-snap, which I've got my adventure awaits on. So this, love it. Haven't used one before because with my horses I was doing a bigger project. So I bought my first Q-snap and a little grime guard, and it's just really perfect. So I've got a few more on the way. I really, really enjoy these. I also got a new pattern from JK Crossstitching Supplies in Australia, which is a Facebook site. Really lovely ladies that work behind the scenes, supplying all of us with our threads, patterns, and general questions as well. That's a really nice little community group on that. So I'll link it below for anyone that's interested in joining and having a look. So I bought, my mum's Irish, she was born in Ireland. So when someone on Flosstube showed this pattern completed, and I'm like, I've got to do that for my mum for Christmas or birthday or Mother's Day. So I did go searching for it, and I found it at my local online store. It's a Joan Elliott design, and it's called a Celtic Welcome. Now the photo doesn't do it justice. The real thing, the real deal was just amazing. So I'm looking forward to starting this one. It's a little bit more there's a lot of work in here, and I don't think it's going to be a fast stitch. I think it's going to be a bit of a slow stitch, but there's lots of intricate patterns, and so no room for error on that one. On the horse one, there was lots of room for error with confetti and the colours and the sunset, so I sort of, I was able to wing that one. This one, I don't think I can be a whole row out. I've got to be very precise on my counting for that one, but I'm looking forward for starting that for my mum. And yeah, the colours, it was just beautiful. I'm sorry if it was, I can't remember exactly who showed it, because it was only when I started watching Flosstube, so I didn't write these down. I just binge watch Flosstube. I watch so many. So my second bit of haul, which is my favourite, I put the word out because I wanted to get some project bags, and I'm not a sewer. So a couple of people recommended Taryn in Australia, and she's got a Facebook site, which is t.zir handmaids. I'm sorry, Taryn, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. So she does her own bags, and so I went onto her Facebook page, and she's got all these different fabrics that you choose from, and then you make the selection of what you'd like. So this is my new project bag, and it is gorgeous. As you know, I like my horses, and that extends to unicorns. It is just beautiful. So I haven't used it yet. I know I broke the rules with the Q-snap by using it, but I had to get going on that. But this, I've been busting to fill it and start using it. The quality is, it's just unbelievable. I can't wait. I'm probably going to end up ordering more because it's just so gorgeous. And Taryn does, she also offers to make not only the project bag, but grime guards and the little bags that you put your scissors and floss in as an extra if you want it all in a matching set. So my first haul that I have not used yet, so I've been holding out. I know there's a rule, you got to show before you use, so that one is going to be used today and filled up, and I'll probably end up putting my Queen Bee on a new Q-snap and popping it into this one. So that's my haul. However, I did receive some stitchy kindness from not from a viewer, just purely someone out in the stitchy world. We have a couple of different community Facebook groups, and I had watched a Flosstube episode that Mitch Stitch had put up with her Alice, with her Ori TM Alice design that was completed. Loved it. I had to have it. But Mitch Stitch did say that she's no longer selling anymore and her shop had closed. And so I started scouring eBay, trying to find a pattern of Alice from Ori TM. Couldn't find one. Could not find one. And it's typical. As soon as you decide that I have to have it, you can't find it. So I put on one of our Facebook groups. Does anyone know where I can find this pattern? I have to have it. And Tracy, God bless her, she had done the pattern, she loved it, and she passed it on because she no longer needed the pattern anymore. So I received that, and I haven't got it with me at the moment, it's in a different room. So I'm going to insert a picture of Alice, just so you can see. Isn't it just beautiful? I just love all the little bits and pieces that just make it up. I'm not a huge Alice in Wonderland fan, but it's the dress. Alice's dress, I just love it, and I love all the little bits and pieces, so that'll be on my list to do very, very soon. Now, I want to say a big hi to Cheryl McKinney. I love her videos there. She's just beautiful. And she has a new segment called Favourite Finds. And she speaks my language. Rusty, dirty, old, vintage. Let's get it, let's reuse it, let's repurpose it in another way. So she started a new segment called Favourite Finds, and she showed some things that she'd found at her local secondhand shop or her charity shop. And I do that all the time. I go to markets, I go to what we call a tip shop, which is a garbage dump, and they scour the dump and they bring things back into the shop that are reusable, and people go in there and buy them. Hence my ladder behind me. You can see that I use that as a display thing. That's an old ladder, an old painter's ladder. It's splattered and got all sorts of character all over it. So my favourite find, now it's not a new favourite find, but at the beginning of my video I showed my welcome sign to my property, and that was a gift from my mum and my sister for my birthday, but it's repurposed horseshoes. Perfect. So me. And you would have seen my boys as well. They give me so much joy. I love my horses, and yeah, every day I'm out there with them. So that to have something at the beginning of my property that says welcome, but it's also horsey, I love it. So each week I might show you one of my favourite finds as coming as something that I've repurposed around the home or in the garden, because I think it's all related. Crafty people just love making something old into something new and creating. So I think it's just another outlet for being creative. So thanks Cheryl for the tip. I can't wait to see what you've got next week as your favourite find. Now I'm also going to, this is a weird one. It's not really, well, it is cross stitch related, it is. I like to bake, cook, probably most of you do as well, being another creative outlet. However, I have a little bit of an obsession with cookbooks. So I began baking all the time. I did a patisserie course, and I just started buying all these cookbooks. And I've got like a couple of shelves, ridiculous amounts of books. Some I haven't even cooked out of because I've just got too many. I'll insert a photo here. Yeah, just a few. Oops. So after my collection began growing, but I still wanted to read more of them, I realised I could get them from the library. So what I'd do is essentially road test these cookbooks. I'd borrow them, see how many recipes were in the cookbook that I liked before I bought it, because I was finding I'd look at these beautiful pictures and buy the book, and then I'd get home and go, oh, maybe there's only 2 recipes that I'd actually make out of this book. And to prevent myself doing that with cross-stitch books, I thought, I might go to the library and also look at the cross-stitch books before I go ahead and buy them. So I've looked at quite a few, and some have made it to my to-buy list. So what I do is I put them on my Pinterest page, so when I'm out at a bookstore or out at a market or something, and you come across something, you can go, oh, yep, that's one I've tagged. Or it's great because I've got relatives that live quite some distance away, and they say, what do you want for your birthday? What can I get you for Christmas? Go onto my Pinterest and have a look at my wish list. And there you go. So it's sort of like a ready-made Mel wants list. So I thought I'd do the same with my cross-stitch books rather than just buying them. So my first book that's making my list for cross-stitch is called Sweet Treats in Cross-Stitch. So this one's done by the Made in France. They've actually had a couple that have put out, but nearly every page on this, I'm like, yep, I'd stitch that. So I thought I'd give you a little look at what caught my eye. So before you even get into the book itself, oh my God, isn't that cute? Look at all those little motifs that are all cooking, baking related. They are so cute. And this gives you lots of ideas for stitching on tea towels, on aprons, all sorts of things, and making lots of gifts. So I'm like, this one's definitely going on my wish list. How cute is that? Oops, sorry. Beautiful cards, just stunning. Simple, easy, but beautiful. So I am definitely putting this book on my to-buy list. So I've road tested Sweet Treats in Cross-Stitch by the Made in France guys. This one is a keeper. Have to send that one back to the library though. The second book that it's going on my list is called Modern Cross-Stitch by Hannah Surrock. Isn't just the front cover? Love it! So this one's got a few more ones that I just wanted to show you. Just as an example, how cute are those little bunnies? Wouldn't they make beautiful Easter cards? Love that. And this is one of my favourites. I'm doing this as soon as I get the book. Isn't that just sweet as? My sister would love that. Actually, I've got another friend that I think would love that too. The dandelion wishes. Here's the bird. Trying not to show the pattern. Isn't that just gorgeous? I'm so doing that bird. These are cute too. They just make divine little presents. But this is one of my favourites. This is going to be stitched as well. If I can find it. How cute is that as a little wall hanging just in the hallway? Seasonal, it could be spring, it could be autumn, little girl's room, just beautiful. So this book is also going on my wish list for a book. Well, no, it's not going on my wish list, it's going on my to-buy list. That one is definitely coming home. Love it. So I might have a little stash of cross-stitch books, but at least they'll be ones that I really want and I'll enjoy. So that's everything that I've got to discuss and talk about this week. So I really want to thank you all again for joining. If you're new, welcome. Please subscribe. If you're returning, thank you. Thank you so much. It's just, I cannot believe the joy that I've gotten from the comments and the likes and just watching the subscribers list grow. So the teenage boys are a little bit impressed that Mum's on YouTube and Mum has subscribers, that the number just keeps growing. So not only are they impressed, but I'm a little bit chuffed and impressed myself. So thanks guys, I couldn't do it without you, seriously. You guys are the ones watching it and commenting, so thank you, thank you, thank you. So until next week, now, actually that's what I was gonna say, I'm a shift worker. And I work all odd hours, and I'm not going to be recording when my boys are in the house. No way. So my videos won't be on a particular day each week. They may come you know, 5 days apart. They might come 10 days apart. It just depends when I'm available and being able to do it without an audience. So I look forward to doing my third floss tube hopefully next week, and I'll see you then. Thanks again. Bye.